Jai Ma Kodiyar, Jai Siyaram. My name is Pathik the Traveler and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to read out a story on Mata Yamuna from Wikipedia. But before that, I request you to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. Let us begin. Yamuna is a sacred river in Hinduism, the Sanatan Dharma. It is the main tributary of the Ganges river, Mata Ganga. The river is also worshipped as a Hindu goddess called Yamuna. Yamuna is also known as Yami in the early texts of Hinduism. In the later literature, she has been referred to as Kalindi. In Hindu scriptures, she is the daughter of Surya, the sun god, and Sanjana, the cloud goddess. She is also the twin sister of Yam, the god of the death. She is associated with the deity Krishna as one of his 8 principal consorts called the Ashtabharya. Ashta means 8, Bharya means consorts. So the Ashtabharyas of Lord Krishna also included Mata Yamuna. Yamuna plays an important role in Krishna's early life as a river too. According to the Hindu scriptures, bathing in Yamuna's river or drinking the waters of Yamuna removes one's sins. Iconography. Yamuna's iconographic depiction is seen on a temple durjams paired with that of Ganga, the goddess of the Ganges, since the Gupta era. The Agni Purana describes Yamuna as a black in complexion, standing on her mount, the tortoise, and holding water pot in her hand. In an ancient painting, she is shown as a beautiful maiden standing on the banks of the river. Family and names. In the Puranic literature, Yamuna is described as the daughter of the sun god Surya, though it should be noted that many people believe that she is the daughter of Lord Brahma. The mother of Mata Yamuna is called Sanjana, the goddess of the clouds, and Mata Yamuna is also the twin sister of Yama. Yam is the god of the death in the Hindu scriptures. Her other brothers include Manu, the first man who lived on this earth, the twin Ashwins, the divine physicians, and the planet Shani. She is described as Surya's favorite child. As the daughter of Surya, she is also called Suryatanaya, Suryaja, and Ravi Nandini. A story explains her name Yamuna. Sanjana, the mother of Yamuna, was unable to bear her husband, the sun's heat and its light, and so she closed her eyes in the presence of Surya. Surya felt insulted and said that their son will be known as Yama due to the restraint that was shown by Sanjana. Now Yama is a Sanskrit word and is translated as restraint in English. Thereafter, Sanjana tried her best to keep her eyes open. However, she flickered them, angering Surya again, who proclaimed that her daughter would be called Yamuna. Since Sanjana had tried to keep her eyes open, Yamuna was blessed that she would be worshipped as a goddess and remembered throughout the existence of the time. The name Kalindi may be derived from her association with Yam, the god of the death, and the god of the darkness. That means black, Kala. Another source suggests that she derives her name Kalindi from her earthly source, mountain Kalinda. Some legends also explained Yamuna's darkness and thus her name Kalindi. The Vaman Purana narrates the tale how she had originally got clean waters and how this water became black or turned black. Distraught by the death of his wife Sati, Lord Shiva wandered the whole universe. Even thinking of Sati, Shiva jumped into Yamuna to overcome the sorrow and memories of Sati, turning her waters into black by his sorrow and unfulfilled desires. Another legend describes that Krishna defeated and banished the serpent Kaliya in the Yamuna. While the dark serpent entered the waters, the river became black. Association with Lord Krishna. In Krishna's birth story, Krishna's father Vasudeva was carrying a newborn Krishna to safety and was crossing the Yamuna river. He asked Mata Yamuna to make a way for him to cross the river, which she did by creating a passage. This was the first time that she saw Krishna, whom she marries in later life. Yamuna wanted to touch the feet of the baby, which she did at a deeper depths of the river, and as a result, the river became very calm. Krishna also spent most of his youth in Vrindavan on the banks of the river Yamuna, playing the flute and playing with his consort Radha and gopis on the banks. The Bhagavad Purana narrates, once an adult Krishna visited his cousins, the five Pandavas brothers, with their common wife Draupadi and their mother Kunti in their capital Indraprasth. Nowadays it is called New Delhi, located on the banks of the river Yamuna. The eldest Pandav Yudhishthir requested Krishna to stay with them for a couple of days. One day Krishna and the middle Pandav Arjun go for hunting in the forest, and during the hunting Arjuna was tired. He and Krishna went to Yamuna and bathed and drank the clean water. There a lovely girl was strolling along the river bank. Krishna, who saw her, asked Arjuna to meet her to know who she was. When Arjuna inquired, the girl told him that she was Kalindi, the daughter of Surya, and that she was living in a house constructed by her father in the river, where she has been performing austerities. That is, she was basically performing the puja or worshipping with intent to have Vishnu as her husband and would remain there until she finds Lord Vishnu. Arjun conveys Kalindi's message to Krishna, who is also an avatar or incarnation of Lord Vishnu, who really agreed to marry beautiful damsel. Krishna basically agrees to marry her. Then they travelled to Indraprasth with Kalindi in the chariot and met Yudhishthir, and after a stay of few days there, Krishna and Kalindi returned to the capital of Lord Krishna, Dwarka, with their entourage and duly married each other. According to the Bhagavad Purana, she had 10 sons: Shruta, Kavi, Rasa, Vira, Shabhu, Bhadra, Santi, Darsa, Puramasa, and the youngest Somka. The Vishnu Purana mentions that she had many sons headed by Shruta. The Bhagavad Purana also narrates that Krishna's elder brother Balaram was staying in Ambadi on Yamuna's banks for a few months. Once he was flocking with the gopis on the river banks and desired to play in the waters. Experiencing the heat of the sun, Balaram felt the need to take a bath in river. However, he refused to walk to the waters and called upon the river to come near to him. But the chaste Yamuna refused despite repeated orders from Balaram. An angry Balaram dragged the river by his weapon, the plough, and changed its course, hurting the river goddess. Terrified, the river assumed her form as a goddess and bowed to Balarama and asked his forgiveness. A pacified Balaram ordered the river to flood the forest so he could bathe and play in her waters, and the river complied. Religious significance. Yamuna is one of the holiest rivers in Hinduism. Yamuna is the only second to Ganges, the holiest river in Hinduism. Her confluence with the Ganges and mythical Saraswati river is called Triveni Sangam, which is a very holy pilgrimage spot. Other pilgrimage sites along the river banks include Yamuna's source, Yamunotri, Mathura, and Bateshwar. The Mahabharata mentions that Yamuna, being as one of the 7 tributaries of the Ganges, drinking its waters is described to absolve sin. The river is mentioned many times in the epic as backdrop for events like yagnas or sacrifices, and even a suicide by a defeated minister Hamsa of Jarasandh. Various Puranas narrate greatness of bathing in Yamuna. The Padma Purana narrates the story of 2 brothers who lived the life of indulgence and lust and gave up to the virtuous ways. They finally plunged into the poverty and resorted to robbery and were killed by beasts in the forest. Both of them reached Rima's court of judgment While the elder brother was sentenced to Nark, the younger brother was granted Swarg. Astonished, the younger brother asked the reason for it, as both had lived the similar lives. Yama explained that younger brother had lived in the ashram of a sage of Yamuna's banks and bathed in the sacred river for 2 months. The first month absolved him of his sins, and second one granted him the place in the heaven. So these were some of the details of Mata Yamuna's various stories as described in various Hindu Puranas. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for listening to my video. Jai Ma Kodiyar, Jai Siya Ram, Shubhratri, good night.